Good afternoon, all, and a warm welcome to everyone. I, Radhika, take the pleasure in welcoming you all to CSIR Foundation Day celebrations. The Council of Scientific and Industrial Research, CSIR, known for its cutting-edge R&D knowledge based in diverse S&T areas, is a contemporary R&D organization. CSIR has a dynamic network of 37 national laboratories, 39 outreach centers, 3 innovation complexes, and 5 units with a pan-India presence. CSIR's R&D expertise and experience are embodied in about 3,460 active scientists, supported by about 4,350 scientific and technical personnel as of June 2021. CSIR is ranked 37th among 1,587 government institutions worldwide and is the only Indian organization among the top 100 global government institutions. According to the Scimago Institutions Ranking World Report 2021, CSIR holds the 7th rank in Asia and leads the country at the first position. With this brief introduction about CSIR, may I now request Head of Suman Center, Dr. Sheikh Basha sir, to welcome the Chief Guest, Sri D. Rangareddy Garu, Chief Engineer, Central Water Commission, Hyderabad.
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. I now request our Director, A.N. Vaidya sir, to give the welcoming address.
A very good afternoon to all. Am I audible?
Yes, sir, you are audible.
Sir, voice is a bit
Voice is
slow,
low.
sir.
Is it so? Is it okay now?
Yes.
No, sir.
No, it's not coming. No, there is some problem with MS. Can you just wait? I will check and do it again.
Okay, sir.
I think it's very feeble. Voice is a problem. Is it so?
Actually, I'm getting your voice better.
You are getting?
Yes.
Now we are
Okay. Then I need not log out and again because there was some problem. We have installed new firewall in NEERI network. It's getting stabilized, so sometimes it impacts these softwares.
Yeah.
So if I am audible, I will go ahead. So I go ahead with that.
sir, your voice is very low.
Okay. I will log out and I will call somebody else. Okay.
Okay.
Just bear with me for 5 minutes. I will
Okay, sir,
leave.
no problem.
Okay.
Pallavi, can you talk once so that we can hear whether the voice is clear or not?
Yeah, I too had his voice very clear.
It means
Okay.
Just go to more.
उधर apps के बाद
See that
The meeting option.
yeah, meeting options. Meeting option. And settings.
Is it? Am I audible now?
Now clear.
Yeah, previously and now also
Same thing. Okay.
has been clear. It is clear for us, but for them, it may not.
Device settings. Audio settings.
Audio.
Speaker class.
No.
This one. Speaker
No.
phone. Yeah. This one. Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
yeah, now it seems okay. Yes. Sir, now it
So we can hear you now, sir.
अभी आवाज आ रही है?
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
It's okay now?
Yes, sir.
Okay, thank you. Am I visible or not?
Yes, sir. You are visible.
Okay. Because I have to confirm online, that is the problem. Anyway, on behalf of CSIR-NEERI and Hyderabad Zonal Center, I welcome you all and all dignitaries, Professor Rao and Rangareddy Garu, who is on dais there, to this 81st Foundation Day of CSIR and completion of 80 years of CSIR establishment. In fact, this program should have been arranged on 26th and it was planned like that. But because 26th is the foundation day of CSIR. However, this time all the directors of 37 CSR labs were called to Delhi, where our minister of DST, Dr. Jitendra Singh, who had actually inaugural address, and all of us were supposed to attend that. And therefore, the individual lab celebrations were deferred by 1 or 2 days here and there. That's why we are holding this celebration at HZC, Hyderabad Zonal Center, on 28th of that is today. So again, a warm wishes and very wish you all a belated happy CSR Foundation Day. As you know, CSR is established as Council for Scientific and Industrial Research in 1942. There were few labs in the beginning. I think ISCP was there, NCL got established, ISCT was there, which is very much in the Hyderabad. It was with Nizam State that time, and there were few labs. Afterwards, the number of labs grew to 40, and then now they are reduced to 37 because of merger of 1 or 2 labs here and there. So this is a huge infrastructure which provides scientific and industrial research requirements of the country, and CSR has directly or indirectly contributed tremendously the progress of nation, scientific and technical progress of the nation in last 75 years. Although, as the minister said when I was there in Delhi the day before, that many of our contributions are not conspicuous to the common masses, most probably because it was other universities or other institutions which were given credit to that. But at the base of many developments, there is always a CSR somewhere here and there. And he specifically insisted on us that we should even try to focus ourselves. Our contributions are to be made more conspicuous through by the way of media, so that people understand what CSR is doing. So anyway, now 80 years of CSR has completed. I will just narrate 1 or 2 points which have come out of our Director General. We have new Director General, Dr. Mrs. N. Kalai Selvi, who is the first woman Director General of CSR in 80 years. And there was a good presentation by her as a kind of roadmap for CSR to go further. And the major point is that CSR as one vision, CSR, one nation, one CSR. There cannot be many more CSRs. Within CSR, all of us are to work, although different laboratories, we have to work for one mandate of nation. There will be one vision for CSR. Then we have to be pro-industry, because very clearly it was pointed out that in CSIR, Council for Scientific and Industrial Research, I is missing, or I is not very dominant, whereas scientific research is getting dominance. There should be a balance between scientific and industrial research. And what she said was that I should be also made dominant as S is there. So a lot of in coming years we have to contribute. Of course, NEERI being a premier environmental research institute, we are contributing to industry directly or indirectly, because most of the industries will have some issues with the environment. But in general, CSR has to come out with solutions. That is the one message which was given. And secondly, the front row, which I can see in the audience, women empowerment. That is another message which was given by Minister as well as CSR DG also, that women empowerment is going to be another trust area. It's not that women are not there; they are contributing equally in science and industrial research. However, they have to be properly empowered or properly involved in all developmental activities, which fortunately CSR is doing in a very good way. But then there is need to go up. And there are many more messages which will take time, long time. But then we are supposed to work for industry. We are supposed to work in a way that our research should be, there won't be funding for research which is only a kind of blue sky research or without any intention. Research must have applicability, research must have industrial application and industrial support, and industries should be involved right from the beginning of the research, including financial support. So that minister said, unless there is a financial support by industry, there is no accountability for CSR as well and industry as well. So in future, all the projects will be totally based on industrial and societal applications, and the techno-economics will be worked out before funding is provided to such projects. So these are the few things which I wanted to say, and which I wanted to convey messages from Delhi, or you can say headquarters of CSR to Zonal Center. Today we also celebrated just before this from 11:30 in our headquarters at Nagpur. Same message I am conveying to you. So I again welcome all of you and expect all my CSR staff at NEERI to work more. They are working very hard, but they have to work more for the nation, for the society, and for the industry as well. With these few words, I stop here, and I again welcome dignitaries and all staff to this celebration of 81st CSR Foundation. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. Now I would like to invite Mrs. Jyoti Ma'am, Technical Assistant, to introduce the guest of honor, Professor K.V. Rao Garu, Program Director, Department of Petroleum, JNTU, Kakinada.
Thank you, Radhika. Respected dignitaries, on and after dais, very good afternoon to all of you. Myself, Jyoti. It's my pleasure to introduce our chief guest of honor, Professor K.V. Rao Garu. Professor Kamireddy Venkateshwar Rao Garu, popularly known as Professor K.V. Rao, is currently an academic advisor for petroleum courses at Jawaharlal Nehru Technological University, Kakinada. He served Andhra University in various levels till he attained superannuation in 2005. Later, he worked in the University of Petroleum and Energy Studies, Dehradun, as a distinguished professor. He was a visiting professor at the Technical University and DAT Fellowship, West Berlin, in 1980. Professor Rao has a research experience, especially in phase equilibrium thermodynamics, multi-component distillation, and process design. He has published over 150 research papers in national and international journals. He is an expert in feasibility studies for chemical process plant safety and energy audits, hazard and risk assessment studies, and root cause analysis. He was a member of technical committee appointed by High Power Committee, Government of Andhra Pradesh, for investigating sterile vapor release from LG Polymers India, Visakhapatnam. Professor Rao has conducted and attended several conferences in India and abroad. He widely traveled in USA, UK, Canada, Germany, Poland, and many countries. Professor Rao is a member of several professional and academic government bodies like Fellow Institution of Engineers, Life Member, Indian Society of Technical Education, Member Society of Petroleum Engineers, SPE International Conference, Member National Geographic Society, ESU. Thank you. Now, may I request Professor K.V. Rao Garu to address the gathering.
Thank you, Mrs. Jyoti, for your kind presentation of my biodata to the August gathering there. Am I audible?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, dear Dr. Vaidya, Dr. Basha, and today's chief guest, Sri Rangareddy Garu, scientists and engineers of NEERI in the Hyderabad Zonal Center of NEERI, present in the seminar. I see more ladies rather than gentlemen there. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. I am privileged and honored to address the scientists and engineers on the eve of CSIR Foundation Day celebrations. I just now heard that it is 81st Foundation Day. I am very privileged and honored on this occasion to address you all. So now I want to share my experience as a technical committee member of LG gas leak, that is popularly known as, otherwise it is LG styrene vapor release accident. So I would like to make a presentation to have a clear idea rather than orally saying the technical details. So you have to bear with me. Then I want to see whether initially there's a problem. See whether this PPT is audible.
No, sir.
Yeah. Then previously also we faced the same problem. Okay.
The share button, sir.
Yeah. Share button.
The up arrow, you have to click on the up arrow, sir.
Yeah. Up arrow. Yeah. Clicked. Then.
Click the presentation.
Then actually sharing that sign should come. Then only.
Sir, once you click on the presentation, it will share, sir.
Okay. Can you see now?
No, sir.
Yeah. Again, same problem.
Is the share button the up arrow or the downward arrow, sir?
It is now it is upward arrow.
So click on that share button, sir.
Share button is not there. That is why I'm searching for it.
The up arrow, you have to click on the up arrow, sir.
Up arrow clicked.
And
now,
then you will see the PowerPoint presentations.
Yes. Yes. Now I got it. Yeah. Thank you. Thank you, ma'am. Can you see this?
No, sir.
No.
No, sir.
We'll go back.
Share plus all these.
Yeah.
Sir, no, sir. After you press the up,
Now
yes.
it is.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Yes.
Learnings from incidents, styrene vapor release at Vizag. So this accident happened on 7th May 2020. It was an uncontrolled styrene vapor release that occurred at LG Polymers, Visakhapatnam, from one of the storage tanks named M6 tank. This styrene vapor release, widely referred to as Vizag gas leak by media. It is a unique major styrene vapor release incident from a bulk storage tank anywhere in the world. The accident took the lives of 12 persons in the immediate subsequent period and 5 loss of livestock and vegetation. You can see the impact on people, their livestock and vegetation. It was a drastic to see these scenes. Nearly 20,000 people from 17,000 houses of the residential colonies nearby were evacuated, and arrangements were made at 23 rehabilitation centers maintained by Greater Visakha Municipality Corporation as well as Himachal Devasthanam. You can see the Google location of LG Polymers. It was spread over 213 acres, which was rather densely, even now also, it is densely populated residential area located 150 meters west. Then the region at 3 kilometers radius was affected. At least 3,000 people suffered from the effects of the styrene vapor. Main intention of presenting this is to prevent such accidents in future once we know the root cause of the accident. Here the figure shows the tank farm. Hope you could see the whole picture here. How in 1967, when the plant was started, nothing was there. I graduated that year only in BTech. A few of my classmates were employed there. Then it was called Hindustan Polymers. Let me share with you history of the company. Originally, it was Sri Rama Mills to manufacture alcohol from molasses. Then it became in 62 Hindustan Polymers. Then Hindustan Polymers started production of polystyrene and copolymers in 67. Then started producing styrene monomer. Then Hindustan Polymers was merged with McDowell in 1978. In 1997, LG Polymers South Korea acquired the Hindustan Polymers, and now or during the time of accident, it was known as Polymers India Private Limited. So I would like to describe the process to have an understanding how the styrene ran away from the storage tank as vapor. There were two off-site tanks, large tanks with capacity of 12,800 metric tons each, T2 and T23. Imported styrene from South Korea being shipped and unloaded to the shore tanks. Then road tankers used to transport the styrene to the on-site tanks M5 and M6. Both have the similar capacities. Then they're having M6 is having 3,100 total capacity. Maybe in tonnage 2,200. At the time of incident, it was 1830 or 1840 tons. Then M5 is having a capacity of 3,285. Rest of them are small capacities. When you consider the total capacity, it was 31,200. From on-site tanks, the styrene was being pumped to the production blocks for manufacturing general purpose polystyrene and expanded EPS expanded polystyrene. So it is essential to have the handling unit and its details. You have two tanks, M5 and M6. Then road tankers used to come from the shore tanks to unload the styrene into the tanks, and the two tanks have the refrigeration unit, standalone units, because you know very well styrene is a reactive chemical. Then even at 20 degrees, it undergoes a reaction, polymerization. So some inhibitors should be added to suppress the self-polymerization, that is thermal polymerization. So from the unit to circulating pumps are located beside the tank. Then from the tank, the styrene was being pumped to produce general purpose polystyrene and expanded polystyrene. That is the picture of styrene handling unit. Now let us see the top of the M6 tank through two vents. So the vapor release had happened. So one is 8-inch vent, that is the first one. Then the second one is at the center. It is a vent originally is a flame arrestor. It was being operated as vent also. So there is a opening. There was an opening of 10-inch in the form of two vents. Then before we go to the details of the root cause analysis, hazard, let us know the hazard nature of the styrene monomer. NFPA 704 diamond says health ranking is 2 and flammability ranking is 3 and reactive ranking is 2 and that means it is highly flammable. Then flash point is 88 degrees Fahrenheit. Other physical properties are there. Boiling point is important 293 to 295 at atmospheric pressure. Then ideal H value is important because when you inhale vapor, so you should know about the ideal H, immediately dangerous to life or health, 700 ppm. Then the other side, you can see the AEG values. AEG values means acute exposure guidelines. Then you have the AEGL3, you have 1900 for 10 minutes and 60 minutes, you have 1100 ppm. So then you have ERPG values, ERPG 150 ppm and ERPG 250 ppm. ERPG 3 is 1000 ppm. This is these guidelines are meant for the workers. Then you have the PACS, protective action criteria for the public exposure. So styrene is a toxic chemical, but it's not considered highly toxic by inhalation. But styrene causes moderate irritation of eyes and the skin. High vapor concentrations cause dizziness, drunkenness, and anesthesia. Styrene has been involved in several industrial explosions. If you see the literature of manufacture of polystyrene, particularly during exothermic polymerization reactors, when you see the literature, you find more accidents occurred in the last 10 years, more than 10 accidents in Taiwan, China, and South Korea. The presence of an inhibitor lessens but does not eliminate the possibility of unwanted polymerization. Violent polymerization leading to explosion may be initiated by peroxide, and styrene reacts violently with strong acids like sulfuric acid, oleum, and chlorosulfonic acid. So it should be cut away from these acids. Let me describe the sequence of events of the accident. in the early hours of 7th May 2020. At 2:31 a.m., no styrene vapor release captured in the CCTV. Serene conditions prevailed, as you see in the picture. Then at 2:42, styrene vapor release captured in the CCTV. Most probably, it was just started releasing the vapor. Then you can see at 2:53, styrene vapor cloud formation as captured by CCTV. The whole area was spread by a styrene vapor. Then at 2 hours 54 seconds, that is also morning, but there is a time gap. Later I'll explain the time gap. Gas detector alarm noticed in DCS. You can see that this is obtained from the display of DCS. So how for this setting of gas detector alarm? Why there was a gap of 12 minutes between the release at the top of the tank and the buzzing of gas alarm at the control room. Am I audible? Am I audible?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. The gas detectors were placed on the tank at 300 mm from the ground level. So it had taken time for the styrene vapor to reach the gas detectors. This is one of the important points one should consider when you want to locate the gas detectors. Further, the gas detectors were not sensitive enough to detect the gas immediately as the gas detector alarm was tuned for 2200 ppm. That is 20% of the LEL value. Most probably, the management was having in their mind the fire and explosion, not the toxic release. That is why they have kept a high value to detect by an alarm. Then state government, after the incident, constituted a high-powered committee. The high-power committee, in turn, appointed a technical committee consisting of 3 members. I was one of them. Then we followed a methodology of inspecting the site of the incident several times and collected the relevant data, and data are analyzed. And according to the data analysis, we identified several major and minor parameters. These parameters have been studied thoroughly, and then root cause analysis was carried out. So we made the root cause analysis through Ishikawa-Fishbone diagram. So there are 8 major parameters that influence to cause the thermal reaction, thermal polymerization of the styrene monomer. Then it increased the temperature, then pressure developed. So the vapor release occurred through vents. Had it been adiabatic, then definitely the accident was could have been huge. The loss could have been huge. Luckily, there were 2 vents. They were enough to release the styrene. So there are 8 major points we have identified that influenced the increase of temperature of styrene in the tank. Those are tank design, tank temperature measurement and control, TBC monitoring, then operating procedures, availability of updated documents, knowledge or talent deficit, then styrene quality testing, then process safety management. Everything affected. All these 3 parameters in details we can go through. Tank is 53 years old. Then the tank size you can see 18 meters in dia, and the height is 12 meters, having capacity of 3,100 KL approximately, operating capacity 2,450 kiloliters, and then you have in metric tons 2,200, and classification is given, and license expiry date also in 21, but this accident occurred in May 20. Then we have the figure. Then this is one of the oldest figures I have seen. This is not exactly called engineering diagram, but it is a general figure. But there are several nozzles. It is one of the oldest because at the time of alcohol manufacture, this tank was fabricated for the molasses storage. Later, it was converted for storing the styrene. So there were 17 nozzles. So I told you about flame arrestor, and I have shown then dip catch as vents. Another disadvantage of this tank that promoted the formation of polymer content, polymer, that is conical roof on an inside structure. So actually it should be outside the structure. Modern designs won't permit to have the inside structure. Then it was provided with a recirculatory cooling system. Then the major thing happened. That was change of design in the suction and discharge, as you see here. Originally, it was having a swing pipe with float, then such that the whole liquid while sucking can be mixed. Then the cold one is actually this diagram is reversed. The cold one coming from the refrigeration system at the bottom, because bottom contents are taken for the processing. So what they did, they faced some problems in the float here. So they removed the float, and everything is restricted to the bottom. So from the bottom, the hot styrene goes for recirculation to refrigeration unit. Then the return also come, and there is a deflect because there is a possibility of the static electricity hazard. So it was taken from the bottom and coming to the bottom. So the remaining liquid happened to be stagnant. So because of this, the temperature of the styrene in the tank was not uniform, except the bottom zone, the top zones and middle zones are exposed to sun heat, and the temperatures went up during the corona period. Otherwise, they were taking from the shore tanks, and immediately with the residence time of 1 or 2 days, they are moving to process plants. So last cleaning and maintenance of the tank was in 2015. Recommended cleaning is every 2 years. So when we come to understand tank temperature measurement and control, so single temperature measuring probe at the bottom of the tank, at least 3 probes at different locations must be minimum. So yeah, you look at the probe, that is nearer to the wall, and it is not a representative temperature, actual temperature. Only bottom zone temperature was being measured. Temperature measurement is restricted to the bottom zone. Top and middle zones might have different temperatures that they never thought of by when they have done a change in the design in suction line and discharge line. Suction line and discharge from the refrigeration unit. So there was a thermal stratification of the tank. As you see here, well mixing is there 17 degrees centigrade. Otherwise, thermal stratification. Above you have 27 degrees, the top layers. Bottom only 17 degrees. So maximum temperature protocol of LG polymers was 35 degrees when we inquired from other companies. It was far, far less. So the protocol itself actually created some problems, particularly when the storage was for longer time. Tank top temperature was at 41.7, estimated from DCS level percentage data, recorded on 28/4/2020, exactly after 10 days or 9 days, the accident occurred. Incorrect assumption of bottom temperature as the bulk temperature of the tank. Then inadequate time for cooling. They were periodically cooling the storage tank in the name of power conservation, energy conservation. So the major point considered here is TBC monitoring. That is tertiary butyl catechol was being used as the inhibitor, that is to suppress the self polymerization. Then no addition of TBC in the on-site storage tank since last 10 years. They were not having the TBC stock in their stores. In emergency, they could not do anything until they got the TBC stock after the accident. It was airlifted. Then TBC stratification in the tank also you can see, because there was thermal stratification. So here you have the increase of temperature from bottom of the tank to the top. So here you have increasing inhibitor concentration, top to higher temperature. I said it was around 41 on 28th April. So then middle must be having 10 ppm, and then at the bottom they were measuring, they were testing the sample and found always as 15 ppm TBC. Actually in the tank there was a profile. So if you look at the table here, so the concentration is 4 to 50. If you have the 50 ppt at 20 degrees, you can store safely for 2,652 days. So if it is even 45, you can keep it as 90. But it is around 15, 16. So the temperature is 35. So look at the dangerous situation. So at 40, in 8 days, 6 days, you can have the self polymerization. It must be cooking even before that. Then decrease of TBC concentration in styrene, because they were not knowing the inhibitor depletion characteristics. So look at here from the diagram. So it should not cross 4 ppm. I have shown you a figure where the top of the layer of styrene must have reached 4 ppm or even less. Then absence of monitoring of dissolved oxygen. Oxygen should be there. Otherwise, a thermal polymerization occurs. So here, in this column, temperatures, see at 30 degrees approximately, at TBC concentration of 12 to 15, you can keep styrene for 1 to 2 months. Even at 43 degrees, 8 to 12 days, but it is at oxygen saturated because it atmospheric condition. Then mixing is not there, but the oxygen levels, they did not have any measurement facility for oxygen, so we could not find out the oxygen levels. Then here, if oxygen is less than ppm, so even if you maintain 15.6 degrees centigrade, it will stay up to 10 to 15 days. Then 30 degrees only 4 to 5 days. So this is the range actually we have found in the tank before the accident. Then at 50 to 75 ppm, when oxygen is saturated, you can keep at 15 degrees the styrene intact in the storage. Then 3 to 4 months at 30 degrees, even slightly less than 30 days for 43.3 degrees centigrade. So no monitoring of dissolved oxygen. Then what are the lessons learned for tank design, temperature measurement and control, PVC monitoring, first major points. You'll see here, the tank should have this kind of design. Earlier design was good, but they have changed it without thinking the consequences. You will see, this suction pipe. This is called the swing pipe. Then it moves up while pumping and comes down. So all the liquid at various levels being recirculated through the refrigeration. So this kind of tank is necessary. It should go back. Then another figure, this is the modern design of the styrene plant adopted worldwide. Being the oldest tank, actually the accident occurred. You see the swing pipe here shown here. Then in the discharge from the refrigerator line from the pump, an adductor is there. Adductor is a mixer. It mixes well the contents such that uniform temperature, uniform concentration of TB are maintained. Then the tank must have a suction swing pipe and adductor system for efficient mixing. The tank should have effective cooling systems with backup cooling with a maximum temperature of 25 degrees, but still personal, I think it should be below 20 degrees centigrade. The number of nozzles in the tank should be kept to a minimum required. The material of construction of the tank can be carbon steel with coating inside, but the old tank was not having the coating, even though they say, there was no proof. Then the roof of the tank should be supported with outside structures. Otherwise, stalactites form. Those are the lumps of polymer formed because the condensed, see, vapor at any temperature, vapor will be there. Then it is a two-way process. Vapor enters while the temperature cooled during nights. Then it is divided up for the TBC. So it promotes the formation of the polymer. That is why the roof structure also should be the good one. supported with outside structures. Otherwise, inside structures, the polymer lumps fall into the styrene there, and again, they may promote the further formation of the polymer. Then a rust-resistant inorganic zinc silicate material should be used to coat the tank and nozzle internals, particularly the inside bottom of the tank and the lower 2 feet of wall, because to prevent any hazards from static electricity. The rust and moisture should be excluded from styrene storage and handling facilities. The outside of storage tank should be painted white or aluminum. Then the manufacturer should consider insulating the storage tank. Of course, this tank was insulated. The tank life should be clearly defined. So 53 years old, it needed the demolition and construction of a new tank. Unfortunately, the accident occurred. The tank cleaning and coating should be carried out once in 2 years, while they were doing that in 5 years. So let us see how operating procedures impacted that led to the accident. Maximum polymer content. They said, at one time 500 ppm, at another time 1000 ppm. Both are found to be wrong, because it cannot be more than 100 ppm. To be strict enough, we can allow the 10 ppm. Then standard operating procedures are not updated to suit the lockdown period. So no daily sampling. Log sheets and log books do not have details of activities carried out. Maximum temperature limit for styrene in the tank at 35 degrees. It should be at least 25 degrees. So what are the lessons? Standard operating conditions with upper and lower limits of each parameter need to be carefully reviewed. High critical standard operating procedures to be in place if high polymer content is observed. Unfortunately, management did not take any action when it was there high polymer content at nearly 450 ppm. Then understandable, usable, clear and concise logbook entries are good practice as part of operation discipline. Sampling frequency to be increased when process is dormant, particularly during pandemic conditions. Then procedures are to be reviewed and updated if necessary after a management change that they haven't done. Then availability of documentation also. Nobody was actually getting the access for the documentation, most of the operating personnel. We also did not get access to the documents. Procedures and manuals were not available during the time of the investigation. Tank drawings do not show internal arrangements. I have shown one drawing. That is the only drawing available for the M6. Validation of refrigeration system was unavailable. A paucity of basic process safety information was observed. Then process safety information is the foundation for a process safety management program. Of course, they did not have the PSM program. Then knowledge or talent deficit also caused the accident. Operators could not identify the nozzles of the tank. Then personnel on duty lack basics of emergency operations, both on-site and off-site also. There was no siren even after the accident. Immediately after the accident, then they should have blown the siren. They did not do that. Personnel were unaware of detailed knowledge of styrene handling and storage best practices. Safety officer, shifting charges, engineers are not qualified in engineering and not competent also. So process safety competency or training is key driver to keep the workforce abreast in the latest in process safety management. Personnel have experience, but they are all science graduates and intermediate candidates. So they did not know what to do during the emergency. So what are the lessons learned? Thermal radical polymerization. Look at the table 4. On 8th May, this is the surface tank temperature from bottom to the top. So most of them were saying, even their operating personnel, it was not because of thermal polymerization. We had to show this. Then why the temperature profile in the tank? Then you have the figure 6. Look at the figure 6. How the bottom temperature originally was at about 17 degrees to be precise. Then it went to, this is the bottom temperature. Actually, the styrene from top layers were being polymerized. By the time it has come towards the bottom, the temperature has risen to 160 beyond the temperature of the boiling point, but the pressure is there. So according to that pressure, the boiling point has risen. Then because of some interventions to suppress the reaction, the temperature has come down. Even on 9th, it was 100 degrees centigrade. Top layer of the tank was considered styrene without TBC. Temperature above 35 degrees centigrade, but estimated 31.7 on 28/4. Then the runaway polymerization reaction started at about 34 degrees centigrade by Harold G. Fisher, an expert on this the styrene self-polymerization reactions, expert on the reactive hazards. So he had made simulations, and then he had sent one simulation. So actually, our observations are also coincided with the simulations done by Fisher. Then then Hamilton kinetic models are valid between 100 degrees centigrade to 200 degrees centigrade, mostly for the polymerization reactions in reactors. So Capier shared the information. Then the non-adiabatic, it is non-adiabatic. That is why so many other people were saved and the whole area was saved. So volumetric vapor generation due to heat reaction balances vent rate through relief devices. So styrene quality testing, collection of representative sample was not ensured. See, only one sample from the bottom, that too periodically. Only one sample from the bottom of the tank was tested. Then the last but not the least parameter is process safety management framework, a disciplined framework for managing the integrity of hazardous operating systems and processes by applying good design principles of engineering and operating practices according to CCPS. No hazard and risk assessment studies before installation of storage tanks. Little to no understanding of risk-based process safety. That also has become a factor. So in conclusion, I can say technology and techniques should be continuously updated. Continual learning and keeping the equipment in good condition should be ensured. Senior professionals responsible for guiding should be adequate experience and should ensure strict compliance of standard operating procedures. The operating personnel should be trained in on-site, off-site emergency response plans and procedures to handle emergencies for toxic chemical releases, along with the fire and explosions. The awareness programs should be conducted for the neighborhoods on hazard nature of chemicals and their effects. Process safety management system, a systematic, comprehensive approach with 20 elements of risk process safety should be implemented in the code. So finally, I acknowledge grateful thanks to the government of Andhra Pradesh and High Power Committee on LG gas leak, especially to Sri Neerab Kumar Prasad, IAS, Special Chief Secretary and Chairman High Power Committee, for giving permission to make this presentation. Sincere thanks to my co-members of the technical committee, Professor VSRK Prasad, then Director IIAPE, Visakhapatnam, and Dr. S. Bal Prasad, Professor of Civil Engineering, Andhra University College of Engineering. Special thanks are due to KPR Consulting, Chennai, and Harold G. Fisher for contributing important technical information to technical committee and high power committee. There are several references. When if any question is there, you can mail to my Gmail, profkviro@gmail.com. Otherwise, you can take from Dr. Basha. I have taken a little bit of time more. So for that, my apologies to the organizers. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. It was very informative, sir. Thank you, sir.
It is my pleasure to make the presentation, but my intention is not to not to get these incidents repeated by the industry. That is why we attach a lot of significance to root cause analysis. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir.
So can you unshare your presentation, sir?
Yeah, I will send to Dr. Basha. You mean to say?
Stop share.
Yeah, stop sharing, right?
Yes.
Okay, okay, I will do that. Dr. Basha Garu and other organizers, please excuse me. I have another program.
Yeah, please.
Thank you very much for giving me the opportunity to make.
Now I would like to invite Mrs. Sumati Ma'am, Senior Technical Officer, to introduce the chief guest, Sri Ranga Reddy Garu.
It's my immense pleasure to introduce Chief Guest Sri Ranga Reddy Garu, graduated in Civil Engineering from Sri Venkateshwara University College of Engineering, Tirupati in 1985. He did his post-graduation from IIT Delhi in 2009. He joined CWC in the year 1989 and worked in various capacities of CWC, New Delhi, Bangalore, and Hyderabad. He did with hydrological observations, flood forecasting, nutritional and weather basis, monitoring and appraisal of major and medium topics in the states of Andhra Pradesh, Telangana, Karnataka, and Kerala. He also worked in Central Electricity Authority in New Delhi, during development of hydroelectric projects in Jammu and Kashmir, Uttarakhand, Himachal Pradesh, and Northeast states. He was associated with Tungabhadra project, which is an interstate project involving Karnataka, Andhra Pradesh, and Telangana states, and worked as secretary Tungabhadra Dam Post from 2013 to 17. He worked as secretary Polavaram Project Authority from 2020 to 21, and also chairman Tungabhadra Board from 2018 to 20. Presently, he is working as chief engineer Krishna and Godavari Basin organization CWC Hyderabad since 2021. We are thankful for him to make a time to attend this occasion from this initiative. With this brief introduction, may I now request our chief guest to address again.
friends, respected Dr. Vaidya, Director, Sita, and Dr. Rao, and all the young scientists. So actually, I am from Central Water Commission. So you know how important water is. Dealing with we have about 140, 130 actually hydrometeorological stations in Krishna and Godavari basins. We measure water like you measure things. We also measure water every day. How much water is going in the river from Mahabaleshwar to Vijayawada, from Nashik to Rajahmundry, and we also do water quality once in 10 days. And during the floods, we issue warning to dams. Like suppose there is a big rainfall in Maharashtra, it will come to Karnataka, then it will come to Telangana. So the total travel time is 15 days. So rain happens in Western Ghats, at 15th day it will come to ocean. So but it may be stopped by various dams. We issue forecast. So we have seen the recent floods in Bhadrachalam and Kaleshwaram, even so that we issue. We also clear the projects. So there are medium irrigation projects. Major projects are done in Delhi, but medium irrigation projects we do clearance. I think you have heard about the Krishna board, Godavari board. Now in paper you see a lot of going on. We clear the medium projects. Yeah, this is a water subject. I don't know whether you are interested or not, but what is very important. No? 70% of body is water. So this is because instead of giving a general lecture, I thought this is a better way of learning. Because you have seen in Andhra, Karnataka, they are fighting for water. You keep seeing. You have seen a few years back, Karnataka and Kaveri, Karnataka and Tamil Nadu fighting very violently. And you have a fighting with, there's a recent one, a small fighting between Orissa and Chhattisgarh, and they were in Indravati. And on Mahadai river is the one river between Karnataka and Goa. Goa, many of us in Goa. So a lot of fightings are there. Because in India, many states are interbased, like Krishna River, Krishna Godavari, it passes through 7 states. It takes birth in Maharashtra, then comes to Godavari. It has a contribution from Maharashtra, Chhattisgarh, and little Madhya Pradesh, and Orissa, and Telangana. So this is one project I want to share with you. One Tungabhadra project. I think many would have heard about Tungabhadra. Hampi. This is in Karnataka. So this I want to share. So just I want to share you how this project, this is under not under state, like in Maharashtra or Telangana, many parts are managed by state government only. But this part is managed by central government in cooperation with states. So this is just I want to show you how this project, in a bad, rainfalls. There are a bad year, drought year. There is good year. There is flood year. Instantly, last 2 years are flood years. In this, in climate, this is very common. Variation can be very high. Like for example, you would have heard of Godavari. Godavari flow at say Rajahmundry, we know it can be 6,000 TMC to 1,500 TMC. It can be so much variation year to year. Even rainfall also, 40% variation is very common. Just to this is what this I'll be sharing. Okay, next. Yeah, just this I want to say what is the genesis of this historic project and what is the role of Tungabhadra board. Because industrial plant they are not fighting, so it's something some good mechanism is developed. How do you manage water in different years, different rainfall years? And there is one here in the dam. You have to release some water to the river. Because normally what happens now, you try to be greedy and you want to use the dam only, but we have to by tribunal we have to leave the water to downstream also. And we did one analysis study about the area, crop area, and we have developed one canal telemetry having transparency. In these issues, a lot of rumors, a lot of mistrust is there between states. So when we develop one canal telemetry, you can see live water, what is going on in canal, what is the water, the velocity, everything you can see online, even now. Yeah, then conclusion. Yeah. So this is one beautiful project. If you happen to go to Hampi, from here about 8-hour journey, it's very beautiful. A very good garden is there, and mini zoo is there. So when flood comes, it's really beautiful. So this is located in Karnataka, in the Hospete district, earlier Ballar district actually. Yeah, it is Karnataka, but it gives the water to 3 states: Karnataka, AP, and Telangana. Just brought the river now. Actually, Tunga and Bhadra, the 2 rivers which takes birth in Shimoga. And the Sringeri, actually Sringeri. I think Sringeri would have heard. Very high rainfall area. Rainfall is 11 meters. Rainfall here is about 1 meter. Yesterday rainfall was 9 centimeters now. You have seen how it happened. But they are 11 meters. Thanks to Western Ghats. If the Western Ghats is not there, imagine India, it would have been Namibia desert. The other Western Ghats, when clouds are pushed up, heavy rainfall is there. One place called Agumbe, their rainfall is about 12 meters in some year, more than Chernobyl. That what a big snake, no? That 15 meter snake is there. I forgot the name. Not Anaconda. I forgot the name. Cobra, King Cobra. It's about 30 meters. And it eats only other cobras, not small, not rats. It is so the river takes birth in Tunga near that Bhadra, and then giants become Tungabhadra. Then it flows. Then we have a dam at Hospeta, Tungabhadra Dam. Before that, small dam is there, one second road. Then we have downstream. There are some Vijayanagara Anikats. Anikats means 7 BS constructed by Vijayanagara Empire in 4th century. Vijayanagara Empire, that's Krishnadevara, this is where our Telugu developed. So there he has built series of Anikats. And we have one Rajoli Banda scheme near Mantralaya. Then we have one more Anikat near Kannur. So this is the system. Next. You see the history of the drought in India. Thanks to British, they had a lot of history of drought. If you see this, if you see some year like 1891 to 1920, there are 10 droughts in 20 years. Almost every alternate year is a drought. Especially during what I say this 1861 to 1890. So especially the Great Indian famine was there. You may not be knowing. About 50 million, 5 crore people died. That is equal to something like 5% of the Indian population. Now we are worried about Corona, but 5 crore people died in 1890 because of the famine. So this idea, I can see even now famines are there. See the 2015, 16, 17 is a very bad, no rains. I think you would have heard, if you remember, 15 season was not fit. We had drinking water problem. Even Hyderabad had a drinking water problem because till October no water came. So in a monsoon country like our country was like that, we are located in tropics. So rainfall can be very variable. We don't know why. Because La Nina effect, El Nino effect. But if you go to Europe, they have very uniform, 200 days of rainfall. Look at the equator, they have everyday rainfall. So our vastu is like that, our droughts are very common. Yeah, I want to show you. We may not be knowing, but this is one article in 1877. See, plight of animals in that Ballari district. You can see this, and also during that period, British were not East India Company. British government was ruling. They brought the food from elsewhere to Chennai. From there, food was given and ganji. What you call they give you my ganji. Yeah, that's what is the people's condition. So it was a protection against the irrigation. So what British thought, instead of getting food from somewhere, better create food here itself. So they want to create one dam here so that it can irrigate people, give a job. So that's why main problem is drinking water. See, it's not the food. Food is also one problem. Drinking water is the main problem. So these are real pictures. Yeah. So at that time, the Sir Arthur Gordon, who built our Arthur Gordon barrage, he did survey on horse. He did a survey of the river, because it was very wild terrain. So he proposed that 1968. It was proposed 1860, but it could not, because at that time, British used to very investment used to give income. So they used to think twice before investing. So ultimately, there was agreement at that time. I think you know it. India is at that time British. 2/3 only British Empire. I think 1/3 is under kings. Everyone knowing after the Royal. So Nizam is the king on one side, and Madras Presidency is the other side. And we have one more Mysore Maharaja on the other side. Because Tungabhadra is the border between British Empire and this one Nizam. So there was agreement between all these two, and government of India as arbitrated. And prior to 1945 to 1945, just after war, and the capacity was about 130 PMC. To provide drinking water, irrigation to Raichur, Ballari, Karnataka, then Karnool, Kadapa, Anandapur district in AP, and Jogalamba, Gadwal, earlier Babunagar in Telangana. Water was given on 1953. Yeah. So board was formed because dam is in Karnataka, canals are initially in Karnataka, then they come to AP. Then some water again comes to have to come to Telangana. So normally so they may not be much cooperation. So they formed a mechanical Tungabhadra board. So the board is by act of parliament, because after the British left now, then states are formed, language basis. When Karnataka state came, IAP came. So there were earlier, actually Ballari was in erstwhile British Empire. They used to follow Telugu. After it came to Karnataka, it became Karnataka language, everything. So there will be, so sensing that now, they formed one board. The board consists of basically same states only, members, unionship. But this management of dam is not with government of that government, it is with central government. So and also canal management. So basically, I mean, regulating water between these states. No, you know, your brothers fight. So different states will have more emotion to fight. So maintaining of dam. So dam, somebody one should maintain, no. So dams should be maintained by the board. Then maintenance of the common portion of the canals. I told you, canals goes through Karnataka, but they are supply water to AP. So there are common canals. These are managed by board only, not by government. And there is some powerhouses, common powerhouses. This is the layout map. You see, the blue is the dam, and you see left side one green. That is the canal under Karnataka, which supply water to Koppal and Raichur. It's about 220 kilometers up to Raichur. Then we have one orange, you know, that is the low level canal. It supply water to Ballari and up to Aduni. That canal is about 350 kilometers. 350 is quite a big, very long canal from here to something like Badacharam. Then we have one high level canal, that yellow is there. That transfer water to this basin. That's called Pennar basin. If you see here, Pennar, the giants. So it's an inter basin transfer. And this also supply water to one more blue is there. That is that was built by Netherlands. It's a very with Kurnool Kadapa canal that interlinks from Krishna basin to Penna basin. So this project will stabilize the water to all these projects and transferring water to in other basins, like because this is a very rain short, very poor rainfall area. This area, especially Andhra. What exactly is water management? So what they do every year, somewhere in May, will sit the engineers of both Telangana and AP and Karnataka, they'll sit and decide how much will be the likely water next year. Because we have a data of 75 years, data is there, like how much water has come at this point. So they assume this year also some say 200 teams will come based upon the analysis. Then okay, what is our intent? How much you want this year? Because some years will be less, some will be more. So they will ask how much Karnataka wants, which canal they want water. Well, all cannot get water, but they have to give intent. Then they will prepare a working table. Because what happens now? Suppose when so many players are there, suppose one canal is at lower level, one canal is at higher level. Suppose lower level canal draws lot of water, then the higher map, that one high level canal which goes to what you call the Anandpur, their level will fall. They can't draw the water. So you have to tell before when you want to draw water, so that others can empty their share of water before before others can draw. So basically the idea is this board will distribute the water, prepare a working table, prepare an estimate of the year, then prepare the working table, then accordingly operate. These are the canals, right bank, low level canals, right bank, high level canal. These are very canals, and our jurisdiction about one is about 270 kilometers, another is about 100 kilometers. Basically, roughly, what they call this dam is supplying about 130 TMC of water, 130 to 150, because variable to irrigation, about 13 TMC for drinking, about 1 crore people. That area, Ballari, Uppla, Kurnool, Anandpur. Then we generate about 107 megawatt of power, and 5 TMC goes to 10 plants like Jindal Steel, I think NMDC, Sandur mines are there, famous Sandur mines. Then Kirloskar. There are a lot of stuff. Here I just want to say you, minimum the organized dams actually. Suppose there is you know about the small tanks, say Hussain Sagar. Hussain is small dam. Suppose it occupies about say 100 acres of water. It can irrigate maximum 100 to 200 only. So 1:1. Suppose this dam it supplies about 1 lakh acres, but give water to 16 lakh acres. It is like a multi-story building. Like small dam is like a single-story building. Big dams are like a multi-story, same space, lot of water is stored. So normal ratio like many dams like Polavaram or Srisalam, the ratio of submergence, how much land submerged versus the irrigated area 1:15 to 1:20. So this is broad allocation. Yeah. This is about allocation among states. Difference. Well, TMC I think you may be knowing. TMC means 1,000 million cubic feet, means or 1 billion cubic feet. Or simply if you talk about Hyderabad require 12 TMC for entire year. For 1 month, you require 1 TMC. It means this dam can feed at least 10 Hyderabad. This dam, see, this is a capacity, 212 is the capacity of this dam, utilization capacity. It can feed how many? 12 times the requirement of Hyderabad. So it can feed about 20 Hyderabad. What I want to say, major water is used by the agriculture. What we drink is nothing, 5%. There is a lot of misuse of water in agriculture. That is what I want to say. So agriculture means 95% they are using, industry 2-3%, and another 5% agriculture. I mean drinking water. So this is what the utilization of, we had data for a long time. If you see from 2001 to 2022, this is the utilization by AP Telangana, then by Karnataka, total utilization inflows. How much water has come at that point? How much is the river outflow? See, the same water which goes out comes to CSIR, which we, CSIR water comes to Nalan Sagar. I think you know it. Same water we are drinking. Half of Hyderabad is fed by Nalan Sagar. Half of Hyderabad is fed by our Singur and our Yelampalli. So half of the people are taking Godavari water, half are taking Krishna water. And you know, to pump the water from that CSIR dam, Nalan Sagar about 200 meters is pumping cost. We are pump. It's not a gravity, it's not like a bore. So if you see, after 21 years, almost 6 years are deficit years. If you see, no water has come below the dam. All water is diverted to the canals only because it is a bad year. And when you are surplus, this surplus means you get water to CSIR. And normal years you see little spilling is there, not much spilling. So it means how to manage. So very bad area is there. So farmers they won't listen. Okay, next. So this is broadly utilization. Karnataka is how much? Karnataka is 2/3, AP is only 1/3. So it's broad. It's all a function of rainfall. If the good rain is there, both in the command catchment, there's good utilization. Yeah, next. So what do we do in a bad? Suppose 2001 is a bad year. So what do? We'll be waiting for the monsoon. Say around July, monsoon starts, the Western Ghats. So once rainfall happens in Western Ghats, like Agombe, the third, fourth day, water comes to our dam, this dam. So we'll see how much inflow is coming. So 10,000 cubics is coming. So cubic means 1 liter, 1 cubic feet per second, per cubic. So then we see how much water has come into dam. Suppose some 20% water has come and some 5,000 is coming. We start using the water to canals because if you open the canal early, suppose June, then they can grow and the rainfall also supports them. Or if you delay, suppose you release water in August, rainfall won't help with the agriculture. So we start once the dam gets 20% water and then they put in flow from Shimoga, then we open the canals to all. Then then we go on monitoring every June, July, August. Especially if August 15th it didn't spill, spill won't get water, then the doubtful. The dam will not, second crop is doubtful. So at those years now only Kharif is gone. Say July to September, October. No Rabi, no Rabi is given. So only some they grow this chili, they grow even cotton. So they cotton chili almost for 5 months. We only give water for standing crops. Otherwise, Kharif mostly are paddy. Even though paddy was not this soil, they are not supposed to go paddy. They are supposed to go only cotton, like light crops. But a lot of because of the labor problem and very fetching, they are only going for paddy. It consumes very heavy. It consumes a lot of water. So you can see this. So this is what we do in Rabi season. Yeah. So what in a normal and surplus year, we should do the water releases from irrigation as per the storage. I told you just now. If when it is receiving good inflow and there is sufficient storage, we start operating. Then Rabi season, we tell the farmers don't go for paddy again. Second crop also don't go for paddy, but they go. Sugarcane is very less only. Go for dry crops. Like there are so many dry crops they can go for. Like around there are so many now alternative crops out there. And the wastage of irrigation needs to be minimized. See, farmers suppose there's a dispute is there. They're supposed to draw some 100 cubic. They'll be drawing more. So we should go and control them. So they can take. Suppose your indent is only 100 cubic for say 1,000 acres. They can take little more, not more than that, because there also water won't go to the tail because there will be a lot of crop violation. The upstream man will have a lot of paddy cultivation. So we control the DP, especially night time. Because night time, if you don't control them, the tail end will suffer because the water has to go up to Adoni, 350 kilometers. If you because that it will take 7 days to travel. So unless you go and control the night time, over tolls, so it won't go. Then patrolling with police also will do. and a lot of illegal water, like siphon, siphon, so the canal is going in the embankment, water is at this level, fill in this level. So they put a siphon, a small pipe. So they go on drying water, and they also put actual photos are there. So in a bad year, like deficit year, what we do? We keep go on waiting till July. Suppose dam is not full in June, July, August. So then we'll say no, this year it won't be. There won't be Rabi, and there are a lot of illegal cultivation is there. Illegal means some 20 to 30% people are they are not part of the command. So, but they draw water illegally from the canal. So if you allow, if you delay, they won't grow. So we delay the release of water in the deficit because we know IMD gives forecast, and our own dam filling will tell you what is a good or a bad year. So we do what we call on and off system. See, what happens is you on the canal for 10 days and you off it, you close it for 10 days. Again, there way a lot of saving of water happens, and intense patrolling in the canals with police and private security. Because if you don't do, if you're not very cruel, no water, even they see tailender fellows, they will only have drinking water and late crops. If you don't control the upstream fellows, water will not go. You have to be little unkind here. No irrigation for Rabi. So we reserve the water for the drinking water. Suppose drought year, then second day also maybe drought year. So we have to keep sufficient drinking water at least for at least next August. Yeah. Basically, issues are unauthorized droughts and violation of crop pattern. They are not supposed to go when one crop they should grow for paddy, but they want two crops paddy. And initially that time planning was suppose you have 10 acres, only 5 acres you should go for paddy, 5 acres you keep empty or go for dry crop. But now all 10 acres are going paddy. And a lot of foreshore is there. Foreshore they are started because the power is cheap. No cost for 10 HP in Karnataka. Lot of lifting of happens in the foreshore. And whatever river assistance, what we do, these Vijayanagara channels are there. The Kalapa Canal, RDS, we release water at the dam. They ask, now our crops are dying, you release some water. We release about 3,000 cusecs, we release water. Then they have to travel to 140 kilometers up to Mantralaya. So all along there, every 100 meters one pump is there. So about 1,000 to we estimate about 10,000 pumps are there all along. So they lift water. So ultimately you release 3,000 cusecs, you get only 1,000 cusecs where the point is there. So because power is no power cost is there, they are pumping. Nobody can, because all farmers now, if you go and do anything, they'll go violent. Even farmers will, politicians support them. Yeah. Then there's increased demand for now drinking water in industries. A lot of industries have come. They want normally as per the water policy, you have to give drinking water as first priority. So a lot of, and the dam has got a silted actually. The dam was about 130, now is about 100 times. A lot of silt has come. So that's also affecting the storage. So and a lot of new projects have come from the upstream. Say like what Bhadrabai, of course, is an old project. So what they do, they store more than they require. They park it for next year also. Suppose this year is there, you should empty the water downstream. Suppose your Kharif has come, you have some storage. You keep for Rabi and extra water you should leave to the next dam. They won't do. They'll keep for next year. But when next year, so they'll good year, the entire thing come as a flood. Yeah. So this is what I will give how farmers fight. So that was a dry like somewhere in August now. No rain in between. So there were good rains initially, and they put the crops. No rains in between. And these farmers are mostly there are a lot of nalas are there, not the command. So wastewater goes to the nalas. So they put the check dams and they keep on growing paddy. So they want the escape to be operated. Escape means for canal safety we keep escapes all along the canal. If you remove escape, the entire water will go to escape basically. The others won't get. So they came to demand lifting of that escape canal for some time. So we brought the police. Police is there. But they are so aggressive now. At least you have to leave it for 6 hours or 1 day. If you don't, they will damage it. So we'll negotiate with them. We will delay it long. Then we release for say in the name of drinking water. It's not drinking water; it's paddy only. So in the name of that, we release for say 6 hours, 100 cusecs or 5 hours. Like that will give. Yeah. And I told you a lot of see these they keep in the canal bank. You can see the pipe. They embed it. Night time they come and keep it embed it and they get water. And in the near the canal, there are a lot of wells they create. So that pipe fills the canal, fills the well. That well they'll separate others, mostly non-command. Rights are the command. So they get paid for that. So farmers are arguing. We are telling them, we are removing LC illegal. About canal next up to 500 meters, there should not be any wells. Because when we are feeding, why you want wells? Basically to sell the water, the non-command guys. Yeah. So I told you about river station. About 70 TMs of water is released to in Rabi season during October to May in the river. So following barrages. One is Rajuli diversion scheme at Mandaraya. Then the Kalabaga. So this water is helping a lot because this river contains a lot of river otters. I think river otter I have seen. So there is a reserve declared river otter. So this water really helps them because they do a lot. They create fish and they live. And there are a lot of crocodiles. Especially I saw during 2015-16 dot year was there. There are a lot of ponds in the river because of the high flow water there. So because that bad year, many because there is no water, many crocodiles started coming to villages. So many we forest government got them and again put them. So especially this will be this water will help them actually. So this provision, dam water is meant for downstream also, and a lot of migratory birds, especially December, especially winter season, a lot of birds from Siberia, from Germany, and there are leopards there in the hub area. So this river is really, really, for source of drinking water and food for this. And there is one sloth bear sanctuary is there. Karadi Dhama, there's Karadi, in Canada, there's Karadi. So for them, no, this water is really night time they move. So daytime they won't go. Leopards, no, only night time they move. So we made assessment of the when there's a lot of criticism now. So we made assessment with NRSA, and see if you see the diagram, if you see the data, authorized command was 12.43 lakh acres. But if you see the gross irrigated or net irrigated, it's more than more than that. So in normal year also 30 lakhs is there. In surplus 16 lakhs, and Rabi if you include 22 lakhs. In deficit, even deficit here you see 15 lakh is there. You can see second column. It means what happened that deficit here, there may be poor show in dam, but there is good rainfall in the command, in the command. So that helps. Normally, what happens in this monsoon, if the poor rains in Western Ghats, there will be good rains in the other area. That is what happens actually. Yeah. So what we found them with the when a lot of water is there, paddy is the most dominant crop. The both seasons, Rabi and Kharif. Whatever you say, they won't go. They'll go for paddy only. In a bad years like deficit years, they go for cotton chilies, the dominant crop. So cropping pattern in one canal is observed to be consistent across year because here we give a crop calendar. We have fixed dates. No? We will water in the month of July 15th. We close it on November 15th. So they have they've thought they have planned not for paddy but some other crops. So there is a lot of increase in the area of cultivation outside the command. Actually, free pumping, lot of that we can't do. A lot of because he's interested by a lot of misunderstanding between Karnataka and especially bad years. No? So they are Karnataka was thinking all the fellows from Andhra they are taking water because that board board consists of one central government employee. Then in the canal, one fellow is from Karnataka, other fellow is from AP or Telangana. Like alternate is there. So when you are in Karnataka, suppose you are from Andhra, you don't care MLA, you don't care anybody. Suppose you are in Andhra, that the Karnataka guys are in Andhra, like Vadu in this area. So there is no influence of politicians. So a lot of control. So misunderstanding is there, but a lot of control is there. So we just to bring transparency. So we got one telemetry. Yeah, you can see. Yeah, this one canal, side-looking Doppler. You can see that one railway track is there. One side-looking Doppler is there inside. So it gives the how much is the water. What is the velocity of water? How much discharge is going? What is the height of water? All this. This is a remote control in it. Yeah. So we implemented at all along the canal. So this really helped and the transparency. What some distributors also farmers they are taking some 400 cusecs water, but they think it's only 200 cusecs. But when you showed with this telemetry, you are taking then what is going because they are mismeasurement. They are all upstream fellows they dominate and the tailor will not get. So he will come and open much more. So this is what. So after implementation, they understood it's a mismeasurement. So we are giving water correctly. They are mismanaging. So there are a lot of improvement is there. We said about 10 teams. 10 teams means almost like a drinking water requirement of Hyderabad for a year. And we do this telemetry stations are there. About 40 stations are there. We got it checked and rated by student PRS, other government of India organizations, and many people came and watched that. Now a lot of so there is rain in the catchment in the command. We stop the water. We know that we are sensing all these things. So farmers know they are very wise now. They can see the website. Somewhat they know the dam position, canal position. They can decide whether what crop they want. Or they suppose it's illegal. They know water is not there in dam. We will not have crop. So a lot of wisdom has come to the farmers. Yeah. What telemetry is CPC? There are different canals. The black is the what is the how much water is flowing. So that will be updated every 3 hours. You can see, and here you can see some distributors also with you. So your distributor is big distributor. Your intent is your request is 300. You should have trying 400 means somebody is misusing. So like that, no, they can see. So politicians don't believe. So they're doubting this because a lot of theft are there. They were taking 4,000 cusecs, recording only 2,000 cusecs. So after we installed, they were taking 4,000. They are not believing. No, we were taking only 2,000. No, you see. So some politicians, MLAs, they came. So then we showed them the technique. They were, will not believe this technique. We want only current meter. I said no. You have to use latest technology. It's very accurate and simple. So we ex-MLA said no. He was opposing. He was doubting whether it is 4,000 cusecs. Yeah. Next one. So this is another batch of politicians now. So you can see that now one small instrument now that is a floating ADCP. We have a fixed ADCP. It gives some value. This checked with this ADCP because this is so easy. If you just put it for 5 minutes, now it gives the discharge, velocity, everything. If you do 5 times, it gives average value. It is very accurate. Normally this canal is taking about 4,500 cusecs, means about 4 lakh acres is feeding. But they are only recording 2,000 cusecs because water is not going to tail end. So all the upstream products are drawing more water. So just to hide the fact, they were telling 2,000 cusecs. They were saying we are not getting water, but actually they are getting 4,000 cusecs every day. So after that, the big fight was there between upstream and downstream products. Because you have been cheating us for so long, so many years. Yeah. See, basically board now could solve the problem now of sharing water between Karnataka without any big fight. The last 70 out of 70 years now, it's a very good project. All 70 years, what is given in the Kharif and some bad years after 6 years Rabi. So very good transparent accounting is there. You can see website also. So because of the basically sharing is very systematic. Why? Because here now what happened here? Suppose now, so what has released now? It will come to CE, it will come to minister, it will come to CM also. But in there now, no, because the interested by now the local SC will take a decision. SC of AP and C of Karnataka, they will sit and take a decision. They won't wait for some politician. No politician decision always biased now. You want to impress public, you want to show that something happened. So basic reason is the decision making is with the local SC. So suppose if you suppose you know the forecast, you can forecast the how is the climate this season. Suppose you say in the unit IMD says it's a very good year. So if you know that way now, if you know, so you can if you get a very good rainfall forecast in the command, it can help in crop planning and reducing canal outflows to the suppose there is very good. Suppose next week are going to get good forecast is there, renewable forecast. Then we can stop water in the canal. We can save some water. So also, suppose there is good rainfall forecast now, we can predict how much water can come into the reservoir. We can start releasing early, and we can plan a lot of things. So, and also there are a lot of dams upstream, like Bhadra project is there, then Upper Tunga, Upper Bhadra. So, if you operate in an integrated way, there will be more optimization. I was thinking on Bhadra project now. Every year at the end of season, they keep from 35 teams of water. 35 teams means you will raise the requirement of Hyderabad because for next year. But you are wasting the water in the form of evaporation. A lot of evaporation happens because there is no single other like Krishna board is there between AP and Telangana. So such bigger board should come for entire basin. I have visited all, even Koina. Koina is Maharashtra. They think that the dam belongs to us only. No water should go. They feel so unhappy when water goes down. I should tell them same Koina water comes to Almaty, same water comes to Jurala, comes to Sikam. So they think that it's a waste of water. In other states think that when they see Almaty, a lot of water flowing, they think it's a waste. Actually, waste you can say only when water goes up the Vijayawada. When Vijayawada, after Vijayawada, there is no dam, it goes to sea. But that also will require some water has to go to sea also because wildlife is there. Because salt into intrusions coming. If your water won't go to sea regularly, a lot of sea water comes to into land. So we have to leave some water. But many states now because they don't go beyond the water, and they think that no, our water is going to Karnataka. Maharashtra thinks Karnataka thinks my water is going. It is not your water. It's all clouds. These clouds come from Indian Ocean. So what somebody told, nature makes clouds. Iron you can't make. And it transport millions of gallons. And just those 1 week, 10 days. And you have to manage water. That job also not doing. So much fighting, so much emotionalism. Because when this feud was going on, this some fighting was going on. One fellow called me from America. So I am from Telangana. when I hear, my blood boils. Tell me what is history. I said, I told you, what are you? You are a doctor. Sir, doctor, you are a specialist doctor. Medicine, disease. Why are you talking about? No, injection. So like that he was talking. I told him, this is not, see, water is a specialized area. Hydrology, water availability, basin. You can't become police emotional. So this is you becoming emotional about water, foolish, because you don't know. The entire water is coming from Western Ghats and the clouds. And there are so many areas in the world where there is no rain once in like Sahara, Thar desert, like there are so many deserts now, once rainfall in 5 years. So I am so blessed with water. If you are fighting, it is very we are still uncivilized. We are like tribals. Nowhere in the world people are fighting for water, like all streamlined. So this is a night photo of Tungabhadra. Yeah, like it's very beautiful, almost like Niagara. If you if you go and stand there, so I wish you all the best for this Foundation Day. And any small doubts, if you have any, because water is very contentious subject. I would like to answer. I am from central government because we have a relation transfer. I have seen the entire basin. I went to Mahabaleshwar, and as well as Nashik. I went from up to. I have seen the basin. And many basins in northeast also I have seen. Part of my when I was in Delhi. So basin has no before 1950 there are no states. If you go a little more backward, there are no India is different. It was bigger than it. So we should have all that historical perspective in mind. And water is a basin. Basin is one unit. We used to call we are all basin brothers. We should not fight. Like you fight with brother, just for fun, not for killing him. So so the basin should fight in a healthy way, not that I will not give water. See, we're foolish now. All dams are there only 30 years old. See, when these dams never came, all water is going to sea. See, they apply science here. We have to like cover issue. No issue here. The cover issue I was there that when the cover issue was burning, people are so violent. No, Kannada is spill. Water goes to Tamil Nadu is like blood flowing. They should be that way. They are foolish. Because of politicization, the cover issue is not coming because that is brought on the center now. When the board decides now. It is not the Karnataka politicians are crying Tamil Nadu politicians. It is some scientific body. They will ask what is the inflow, what is the outflow. So how much? See, in nature, variation is very common. Why we don't know? I told you, famine came in 1877, 1871. At that time, global warming was not there. Then how famine came? I was just seeing history. If I am part of history. I think Kalinga War, Buddha, which year it happened? Any idea? It happened in 323 BC, Kalinga War, where Ashoka came and he killed 1 lakh people in Orissa, and they became transformed. What is this? What I am doing? So then, then it became Buddhist. But next year, drought came, killed 10 lakh people. Next year, drought came in Orissa. So at that time, where is global warming? In nature, some variation is there. Global warming is just increasing the effect. But in a country like India, a lot of variations there. Especially monsoon variation is there. Thanks. Thank you for your patient visit. Maybe it is not a topic for you now.
Water is very much related to us.
Thank you for such a beautiful knowledge. May I now request Pasha sir to felicitate the chief guest.
So no doubts. Doubts. Very tired. I think you are tired.
May I ask any?
Your time is running out. But scientists should ask. The only proof of scientists is questions, sir. My friend used to say, how many Nobel Prize came in America? Any idea? Just number 400. India, how many Nobel Prize came? No? 12. Say we do Lakshmi Puja, we do Saraswati Puja. Why you are not getting? We do Saraswati Puja. We should do Nobel, na? No. This is all now said. What they say, somebody told. We are more interested in spirituality, looking inside the brain, what is their enlightenment, than looking outside. Because my friend went to Germany, and somebody asked me, you are such a great country with Vedas, so many books. Why your place are dirty? Why your cities are dirty? Your rivers are dirty? He asked me openly. They asked openly. And my friend told, our people are more interested in inside world. You are more spiritual. Our Ananda is inside. Huh? If outside is there, definitely it is inside also is there. Na? So we escape, a lot of escape is there. That is why our energies has gone in. So I mean, going inside thinking. You never thought inside Ananda is there. Outside Ananda is there. Food is outside only. Your chicken and mutton outside only. So what's inside? Enjoy. So that way, I'm just joking. You told your Western world such outside. Order of outside. If order outside, so you develop science. We could not develop science. We are developing now, definitely. But we developed mantra, tantra, meditation, this technique, that technique. Good, useful only. But without outside, how can we, when outside is bad, how can we be good inside? You are hungry, how can body will have peace of mind? So you as an intelligent scientist, I want you to develop a scientific spirit. And everything is science. I also love science. Recently, I registered myself for a PhD in Usman State. I love science. I read a lot of chemistry books. Other day also there was one lecture, one Hindi Pakwada was there, Hindi Pakwada. And they are telling about the greatness of all languages. No, when language came just 1 lakh years back. When human beings came only 1 lakh years back. No? Then they said, yeah, we have the best language. I said, how animals communicate? They have no language. Chemical communication. What is the best communication in the world is chemical communication. No misunderstanding. Whether you say animals, birds, misunderstanding. So I said, our communication is very poor, third class. Nature communication by chemical, no? It's perfect. So you see a lot of, you see nature communication. Then my friend was upset. He thought he would praise Telugu or he would praise India Sanskrit. No, but this is science, fact. Chemical is so ants. Entire communicate by chemicals only. The enemy is so ant has come, it is enemy, kill him immediately. No distance, no. So perfect communication. Ants, honeybees, how they attack so far? The chemical communication. So I love science and a lot of science. I want you to develop scientific spirit in India. Is what I want you to young people know. Because lot of anti-science also going. That's natural. It's very easy. So I was telling even now also because there will be intelligence, there will be curious also. Because this is even now in England there was something called flat Earth society. Even now they believe that the Earth is flat. Some element, it will be existing. You can't say that the science will come and the ignorance will go. It will not go. But also proportional will go. The dualism, what they say, even atom level, there is electron and neutron, electron proton. So here also there will be ignorant people and intelligent people. So you can't eliminate. Thank you. Science, we should use. Thank you. Don't refer all. Thank you for listening.
Thank you, sir. I invite Dr. Meenanand sir, senior scientist, to brief the audience about the students' visit to CSIR-NEERI, Hyderabad Sunan.
Thank you. Permissions to everyone. So as part of this 81st CSIR Foundation Day celebration, CSIR-NEERI Hyderabad Zone Center has organized a one-day practical demonstration session. I selected few students of Hyderabad on 22nd September 2022. The motto or the objective of the practical demonstration session is to showcase and introduce some of the basic and the common laboratory practices that is followed in engineering, environmental science and engineering research, so that the students or our future of India will be motivated and they will be engaged in environmental research, which will ultimately benefit the society. So we received overwhelming participation or application from so many colleges, but due to a space constraint, we had to select only 3 colleges. The participants are here. They actively participated in our practical demonstration session. In this occasion, I would like to wish and say this that the entire session was coordinated and organized by the project assistants who are working in various projects of CSIR-NEERI Hyderabad Zone Center. They successfully organized and demonstrated well. Now we can see some of the video clippings of the scene.
Yeah. So what tests you taught them, sir? What are the different tests?
All the things involved in some of the tests involved in air monitoring, water analysis, microbiological analysis, soil analysis, everything. It's the entire one thing. 21 participants.
MSc service.
Yeah. Yeah. So it's a time for certificate distribution. I will call the participant college wise. The participant of this particular college can come down, and one can get the certificate from our chief guest. So I request our chief guest from the certificate. Avanti degree at PG college. Avanti. Yeah. Avanti college. Avanti college. Yeah. So it's a bunch. Because like so many things. So they will distribute that.
Okay.
Yeah. Little Flower Degree College. Saint Pius Degree and Community College.
So how many days happened?
Only one.
We also have declared, sir. We limited you.
Yeah.
We have even this MS.
Thank you.
Yeah, so you are seeding now scientific mind.
Yeah, yeah.
Scientists.
So that's our. We normally organize like this events several times. Like we invite a lot of college students.
It's a regular.
Yeah, very good. So foundation day, again foundation.
Not only foundation, even regularly also we do.
Even some other occasions.
We told I, you are saying I, na?
Yeah.
Industry said, no, please don't make it.
No, it is regular. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. Finally, I would request Ms. Murari Kalita ma'am, Principal Scientist, to propose the vote of thanks. Good evening, everyone. It's my privilege to propose vote of thanks on the occasion of CSIR Foundation Day. On behalf of CSIR-NEERI Hyderabad Rural Center, I would like to thank our chief guest, Sri V. Rangareddy, Chief Engineer, Central Water Commission, Hyderabad, for taking his precious time out and consenting to be the chief guest. Thank you, sir, for the informative talk on water management in Tungabhadra project. I also express my heartfelt thanks to guest of honor, Professor K.V. Rao, Program Director, Department of Petroleum, JNU Kakinada, for accepting the invitation to grace the event and sharing his views on the learnings from LG styrene vapor release. Thank you, sir. My sincere thanks to our Director, Dr. Atul Narayan Reddy, sir, for the welcome address and being a constant source of inspiration and guidance for all of us. I would like to thank Dr. Shane Basa, scientist and head CSIR-NEERI Hyderabad Rural Center. Thank you.
deserve for your support and encouragement. I must mention our deep sense of appreciation for the teachers and students from Avanti Degree and PT College, Little Flower Degree College, and St. Pius Degree and PT College, Hyderabad, for actively participating in the CSI Foundation Day celebration and practical demonstration session conducted at our HZC, Hyderabad Journal Center, and showing their interest in the program. Thank you. I would like to express our gratitude to Dr. P.S. Kumare, Scientist and Head Public Relations and Media Management Group, Dr. Ashish Sharma and team for the smooth organization and webcasting this event without any glitches. Last but not the least, I thank all the scientific, technical, and administrative staff of NEERI Hyderabad Journal Center, including project assistant associates and our contract staff, without whose helping hand this event would not have been possible. Finally, thank you all the audience for being with us both physically and virtually on CSI Foundation Day. Thank you. We will conclude our program with the national anthem. I kindly request all of you to please stand up for our national
जनगणमन अधिनायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता पंजाब सिंध गुजरात मराठा द्राविड उत्कल गंगा विंध्य हिमाचल यमुना गंगा उच्चल जलधि तरंगा तव शुभ नामे जागे तव शुभ आशीष मांगे गाहे तव जय गाथा जनगण मंगलदायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता जय हे जय हे जय हे जय 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 हे
Thank you everyone for your presence and making this event successful. I request all of you to join us for the thank you.